really is a testament, not just to Stephanie, but to our community. And I want to take a brief moment to just really thank Ms. Bingham, Mr. King, who you'll hear from in a moment, and a couple of the people who really made this event possible. Notably Lauren Hubbard, who really, as a class president, went to school and was close friends with Stephanie, pushed to have this wall built and memorialized for Stephanie, not only as a tribute to Stephanie, in my mind, but as a representation of something much bigger. Because for me, this wall, while it's a great honor for Stephanie and for our family and for her friends, many of whom are here today, but it's really a representation of the fact that this wall, which Steffi was an avid tennis player and captain of the team played for 4 years, was a wall that she hit against on other courts many a time to better herself. And the wall symbolizes the fact that we can all improve ourselves, but more importantly, the community is here to support and provide resources to assist in you bettering each and every one of yourselves. So while we all have a tendency to fall at some point in our lives, what's important is getting back up and knowing that the resources of the community, of your family and your friends are there to support you, as is very much proven by this wall and this wall that will remain here. So I just want to take a very brief moment to acknowledge the fact that Stephanie was not only my friend and my sister, one of my best friends and my confidant, but she was an incredible person. One of those people that you wanted to emulate. One of those people who would walk into a room and fill it with joy through her charisma, through her overflowing energy, her bubbly personality, and her optimistic can-do attitude. Like Miss Bingham said, there was nothing that was too big or too hard. She had 4 birthday parties in a night. She would be at all 4 of them because her family and her friends always came first. This was true on the courts and off the courts as she graduated top of her class at West Hill and went on to go to the University of Pennsylvania, where she was also at top of her class, magna cum laude. And beyond that, she went to go work for IBM Consulting, where she excelled for over 6 years and did great things for many organizations, helping them. And I truly believe that all of that came from an incredibly genuine place, because she loved helping people. She loved bringing a smile to people's faces. And she did it in everyday life, and she did it through the Interact Community Service Club that she was a president of when she started the Feed the Homeless program, where every Sunday she would go to St. Luke's homeless shelter and pick up high school students along the way and bring them to feed the homeless. Not because it was a bullet on the resume, because it never ended up there, but because she felt good about it. And that's the type of person that she was. So I am very proud to call Stephanie my best friend and my sister. And I think what's really important, what's really symbolized here today, for all of you taking times out of your incredibly busy schedules to be here, is evident of the fact that we need to start the conversation around mental health. There is a tremendous stigma in our society around many things. And we've made incredible progress over the last several decades in tearing some of those stigmas down. But mental health is one of those stigmas that remains. If you broke your arm and you went to the doctor, which you would readily do, and you put a cast on, you wouldn't be afraid that you would be judged. You wouldn't be afraid of wearing that cast to get better. But for some reason in our society, even today, people feel that stigma. And I've heard many of you come to me and say, how can I help? How can I get involved? Beyond just going to StephanieBeckerFund.com and donating and supporting our effort, where we've raised over $80,000 to date. Beyond helping us create and execute programming, where we've started a class at Emory University, where we've launched this semester, we wrote the curriculum for and executed, that's being led in the undergraduate business school at Goizueta, being led by a very talented PhD professor, a former professor of mine, to create resources, create intellectual capital around figuring out how to address this issue, how to reach high school students, college students, post-college students that do stumble, as so many of us do, and how to help them. Just last week, we went to the University of Pennsylvania, where Steffi graduated in 2006, and partnered with MTV and the JED Foundation, tremendous organizations, and JHP, where Stephanie was a very active member in the Jewish Heritage Programs, and she was honored just 2 years ago. And we had 200 students come together and start working with us to tear down that stigma. Actress Brittany Snow came to talk about her Love is Louder campaign, where you can read more about it at loveislouder.com. And it's through programs like this and events like today that I wish didn't have to exist, but they do. And I think so much of you guys, thank all of you for being here today, for being part of our effort, for being part of this really, what I think is something that's very attainable in the near future that we can really work towards helping individuals. So I encourage all of you to visit our website at stephaniebecker.com to read our positioning statement, to read about our mission. We've been making some very exciting progress. We've had an incredible amount of support from all of you and so many others that couldn't make it here today. Many of you traveled from near and far, and I thank you guys again for your time. Thank you.